What up, what up, what up? It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ, and welcome to another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Week 14, start 'em, sit 'em. Got 3 defenses you should be starting and 1 defense you should be fading. Listen, it's week 14 and fantasy playoffs are definitely around the corner for some leagues. Week 15 is where it starts popping off. So this is not a week where you want to get cute. So I don't want to waste any more time. So let's get right into the episode. So I want to start off with the Vikings going up against the Raiders. Now, the Raiders only have 2 games this season where they had more than 20 points scored, and that's not really an offense that you should be feared about. But the Vikings defense, they've been a defense that can be solid, get some sacks, a couple of turnovers here and there, but they're a defense that I like to rely on when the matchup is in their favor. Now, you're looking at this Raiders offense. I know you have Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, and all that, and great. But the Vikings defense have been a solid defense from allowing teams to score. And also this Raiders offense, what seems to be their scoring attack since Aiden O'Connell has taken over as the starter, is really their running game. But you got the Vikings who are allowing the 7th fewest rushing yards per game and the 5th fewest rushing touchdowns allowed this season. So we're looking at a matchup where you have a solid defense in your starting lineups. No real worries. Your expectations are between 7, 10, 12 points, whatever the case may be, but just know they're not a defense that's going to hurt you in the starting lineups. And you're also looking at Aiden O'Connell. He's not a guy that really goes downfield and make the deep shots. Only 3 completions of 20 plus yards. The Vikings are ranked 28th in big plays allowed. So you got them holding the run game in check, and also no real worries with Aiden O'Connell going downfield, driving down and scoring on them. So the Vikings are a solid play for week 14. Next up, I'm going with the Broncos this week, man. I'm riding with them. They are the real deal, and I'm riding with them for the rest of the season. And I got the Chargers this week. Give me some division battle here. Now, the Broncos, they caught the L last week, but hey, they still were productive on the defensive end of it. They had 5 sacks last week against CJ Stroud, and this team is leading the lead in takeaways right now. So there's not much I need to sell you on the Broncos because you know by now that they're real. I mean, they're going out there getting turnovers, they're creating pressure, and et cetera, going up against this Chargers offense who's just been struggling the last 2 weeks. I mean, Justin Herbert has 1 touchdown and 1 interception in the last 2 games, people. So Justin Herbert isn't looking like he's going to be changing the tune this week either, going against this Broncos defense, who just been getting it done on all cylinders. I mean, look, you're looking at this defense right now where you need a defense that you could ride on for the rest of the season. Looking at the Broncos schedule, I don't see why you even think about dropping him. Just hold on to him. I know and understand if you have a defense like the Ravens or even the Browns or et cetera, one of these elite defenses, there's still a defense that you need to hold on to and not drop. I mean, honestly, I just been hearing horror stories of people jumping from the waiver wire, getting the defense that they just had on last week. But it's like, why did you guys drop them? So the Broncos, man, they're a solid defense to just ride into the wheels fall off for this rest of the season, especially in the fantasy playoffs. Next up, I'm going with the Patriots, man. I haven't really put them in many videos this season because the Patriots have been disgusting on offense, but their defense, man, they've been sneaky good, man. I mean, look, the last 3 weeks, they've held opponents to 10 points or less, but they didn't come out with any wins in those games. But still, I like a defense that can keep teams out of the end zone. So this is a safe play this week. Going up against the Steelers offense, are going to be without Kenny Pickett for X amount of weeks. So you're looking for a defense that you could just slide in this week where they're not going to hurt you, where your expectation should be between 7 to 10 points. And there could be some upside here as well, being that the Steelers O-line is ranked 31st in the NFL. And we saw the Patriots actually get after the quarterback when they're going against the Giants, who are actually ranked 32nd in NFL when it comes to O-line ranking as per PFF in those rankings as well. So I like the Patriots upside this week, and I like them as a safe play in general because, again, the last 3 weeks, opponents have only scored 10 points or less. Again, they didn't win, but this defense is doing their job. It's just that the offense sucks. So I like the Patriots this week going against the Steelers. Now to get into a defense that I think you should be fading for week 14. Now, this might sound crazy, but there's not that many teams on bye. There's 2 notable teams that are on bye, but their defenses suck. But how about this? Fade the Cowboys this week going against the Eagles. I don't like the tension. I don't like the rivalry. I don't like either teams. I don't care who wins, but their defense, man, they allowed Seattle to come into Jerry's world and put up 30-plus points. That we did not see coming. That I was just really shocked that happened. This Cowboys defense kind of just fell apart. Now they're going up against Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense, and I don't like the Cowboys in my starting lineups this week, just with that hanging over my head or in the back of my head that, look, the Seahawks came in the Jerry's world and they put on the show. What do you think the Eagles are going to do with Jalen Hurts, with this tush push, with the running game, with DeAndre Swift, Devontae Smith, and you also got A.J. Brown, who's just been phenomenal this season as well. This Cowboys defense, man, they're not a team that I like to ride with in the playoffs or for the rest of the season. Just their schedule doesn't get any easier, man. They got the Bills, Dolphins, and then Lions in the next 3 weeks. So this doesn't look like a defense that I can honestly tell you to put in your starting lineups. But I can say this week for week 14, nah, I'm not riding with the Cowboys versus the Eagles, man. So you can go ahead and fade them, pick up another defense or one of the recommended defenses in this video and slide them in instead of the Cowboys. Because there's a couple defenses out there that are still highly available to you that you could put in and be a safe play. Because again, this isn't a week to get cute. Some teams are out there fighting for the seed. So I want you to not get cute here and try to go with the Cowboys. I know I tell you to stick with what you know, but what we know right now about this Cowboys defense, it's looking a little shaky. And I wouldn't want it against this high-powered Eagles offense that can go up and score points at any point in time. Last time they met, the Eagles went out there and put up 28 points. So that is definitely on the table. Just with that lingering around, I would fade the Cowboys this week. So this wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. We are this close to 20K, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And listen, you guys can follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.